And so I don't want you to maybe give advice, but maybe from your experience, like, and you were in the thick of your addiction. What would you have wanted from your mom? What would you have wanted from your dad, your sisters in that moment to kind of help you like take that first step to get well and to make something of yourself like you said you wanted?
Man, there is such a balance between, I can't even begin to relate or understand what it must be like for these parents.
Yeah.
I honestly, this is the topic that really, really hurts me and upsets me, because my mom that is such a painful but also amazing topic for me, and I can't even begin to imagine what it's like to be the loved one of an addict. That's the one thing I'll never be able to relate to or understand in life. That pain, and they want to walk this thin line between just smothering these people with love and compassion and care, and showing them that tough love. And honestly, maybe I'm biased because of what ended up working for me. But lately, like, I guess like I've been leaning a little bit more towards that route of just not enabling that behavior. And this is such a tricky topic. It's such a tricky topic, but like, I just feel like that desperation, like the fire touching the ass of the young addict, like that first night on the streets with nowhere to live, I feel like that might be enough for some. And if it's not enough, it's at least a start. Like that coddling mentality, I think I had a lot of that through my mom and my grandmother, and I think it really allowed me to keep going. And I know it's so hard to have to tell your kid, like, I'm fucking done with you, because you are ruining your life, and you're ruining our lives too. And I cannot take this anymore.
Right.
And so I what you're asking me to give advice on right now.
Well, it's just like if you were in that moment. Yeah.
I hear you. But what you're asking me to give advice on right now, I liken to string theory. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Or rocket science. Like I can look back at my life and the choices I made and what addiction was like for me and how painful that was for me. But it is so hard. It is so hard to be a family member, to be a loved one of an addict. And honestly, like I put my soul. I've not put my soul into many things in this life. I put my soul into this book. It is my shining achievement in life. The entire book was edited and proofread by some of the best, people in the space, and some stuff was moved around, and I wrote it all, but you needed editing and proofreading. The final chapter of the book is a book called Afterthoughts. It was untouched. I said, no one will touch this chapter of the book. I do not want it proofread. I do not want it edited. I do not want a single change made to this chapter of the book. The last 3 pages of that chapter, the last 3 pages of the book, is the most impactful writing content I will ever produce. And what that is letters to the people who are suffering. And everyone I talk to talks about these last 3 pages. There's a letter to the person who has never suffered through mental illness or addiction. There's a letter to the family members, and there's a letter to the person suffering. And I cried my eyes out for all 3 of those letters. The entire time I wrote it, without exception. And all I can offer to the family member or to the person suffering is what I put in those pages, honestly. And this is not a promo. I please, by all means, take in this episode. And if you decide that I have not promoted or told anyone this book is a must read. Luckily, I've had 50,000 buyers been able to say this is a must read. You have to read this book, right? But that is all I can offer. It is just such a tough answer. And at the end of the day, I guess what I would leave with is this. If you're a parent, if you're a loved one, if you're a spouse, it is not a shared battle. This is not your battle. This is not your fault. This is not your mess to clean up. This is not a burden for you to carry. This is a personal journey that the addict must go through and decide on their own accord when they are finished, when they have had enough pain, and when they are ready to change their lives. Whatever you do couldn't have been done better. Whatever you've done couldn't have been done better. So what advice do I have to someone who has either lost someone or continues to battle with someone every day? Keep going. Keep going. Keep doing whatever it is you're doing that is keeping that addict alive, because that is the best you could possibly do. That's it. That's all I have. There's nothing else I could say. There's no other piece of advice I could give because of how challenging that scenario is besides keep going and don't let the fucking light go out.